A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Friday, August 26th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. In the last 4 years, over 100 people died each year from drug overdoses, most often from fentanyl-laced heroin or cocaine. And Orange County District Attorney David Hoovler predicts that as many as 140 people will die this year from the drug. He warned people not to buy oxycodone pills online or from individuals because most are counterfeit and will kill. The DA also took state elected officials to task for adopting bail reforms. If someone sells a narcotic that causes a death, the seller will only be charged with drug sales and be released on an appearance ticket, he said.
In New York, and the unintended consequence of bail reform is simply that 99% of all drug crimes are not bail eligible. It's simply you get arrested, you get an appearance ticket, you're in and you're out. Your criminal history doesn't matter, nothing matters. I understand that the individuals in our legislature and in New York City, they're done with the war on drugs. I understand where they're at with it. The problem is it is killing a tremendous amount of people in this county.
Hoovler said the problem is more prevalent in the urban areas, Newburgh, Port Jervis, and Middletown, than in the suburban and rural areas. Port Jervis City Mayor Kelly Decker, himself a former police officer, said the state legislature should re-examine bail reform based on common sense. A Newburgh man pled guilty in Orange County Court on Thursday to manslaughter, burglary, and tampering with physical evidence in connection with the death of a City of Newburgh woman. 39-year-old Matthew Mercado faces 17 to 19 years in state prison when sentenced in November in the death of 36-year-old Jessica Lopez, who was last seen on November 3, 2019, at the Windsor Motel in the town of New Windsor. Mercado admitted that on November 3, 2019, at about 5 a.m., while the two were alone in a motel room, he caused the woman's death by giving her a variety of illegal drugs and narcotics, which caused Lopez to have a severe adverse reaction, and that he failed to obtain medical aid for her. She died in the motel room. The woman's body was never recovered. Hatsola, the volunteer EMS service, has set up its worldwide aviation division at Sullivan County International Airport in the town of Bethel and has already undertaken relief missions in support of the Ukrainian people since the Russian invasion. Ellie Rowe, a commercial pilot and founder of Hatsola Air, told Mid-Hudson News last night that they've flown numerous relief missions to the region.
It was horrible. We couldn't go into Ukraine because the airspace was closed, obviously, so we went to a place called Iasi in Romania nearby, and we went to some other surrounding countries, and they only gave us a very brief slot, so we had to prearrange everything. We took thousands of pounds of rescue equipment, and we transported people, as needed.
Hatsola Air operates 4 flying ambulances at present and is expecting 7 more, all under the operational control of the organization. Every doctor, EMT, dispatcher, and board member is a volunteer. The pilots and the mechanics are paid. More news in just a moment.
The Galleria at Crystal Run offers summer fun for the whole family. Bowling, karaoke, billiards, and a full arcade, all conveniently located at Round 1 Bowling and Amusement on the lower level. Looking for a family-friendly lunch spot to take a break? Think Round 1. They have pizza, burgers, 99-cent ice cream, and more. The Galleria at Crystal Run in Middletown and Round 1, Orange County's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment and summer fun destination. Learn more at GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
A Transportation Security Administration officer prevented a man from carrying his loaded handgun onto a plane at New York Stewart International Airport on Wednesday. The .357 revolver was loaded with 5 bullets. The officer spotted the gun on the checkpoint X-ray machine's monitor as the man's belongings entered the unit and immediately alerted the state police. The man told officials he forgot that he had the gun with him. He was allowed to leave the airport with the gun. The man also faces a federal civil penalty for bringing the weapon to an airport security checkpoint. Dutchess County Executive Mark Molinaro and County Legislature Chairman Greg Pulver hosted the 2022 Agricultural Advisory Committee Forum at the Dutchess County Fairgrounds in Rhinebeck on Thursday. They were joined by members of the Agricultural Advisory Committee, which includes local farmers, agribusiness representatives, agricultural and land conservancy groups, and others to discuss issues and policies surrounding Dutchess County agriculture and farming. Several elected officials joined more than 50 local farmers and representatives from various agricultural and land conservation organizations. Chairman Pulver, a multi-generational farmer in the town of Pine Plains, said farming has always been both a challenge yet a rewarding endeavor.
We still have more agriculture now than we ever did, but it's just changed. It's smaller farms. The farm-to-table movement's helped us. But yet here at the Dutchess County Fair, we still celebrate all agriculture, and it's nice to see the cattle and the goats and the sheep.
Land in agriculture comprises over 100,000 acres in Dutchess County, which is almost a fifth of the county's total acreage. Freshmen started moving into campus housing yesterday at SUNY New Paltz, and it's the first move-in since Dr. Darrell Wheeler was appointed new president of the college last month. Excited, very excited, said Wheeler, after arriving at Esopus Hall to greet the new students.
The energy of the students and their families, it's the beginning of the academic year. This is just rejuvenation time.
Victor Flav, a student from Ireland who's going to study politics and sociology and who has relatives in Middletown, was among the new students moving into Esopus Hall. And before he started a single class, Flav said he's already very happy with the choice to attend this college.
My expectations are met anyways. It's a beautiful campus, the weather is amazing. I love it.
Flav is among 7,200 graduate and undergraduate students returning to campus. A Kerhonkson man was sentenced in Ulster County Court to 2.5 to 3 years in state prison and 3 years of post-release supervision after pleading guilty to menacing a police officer on June 8th. 31-year-old David Stevens also pled guilty to felony driving while intoxicated. The conviction stemmed from an incident on January 2nd where he was pulled over by a state trooper for a vehicle and traffic infraction. He opened the driver's side door and had his hand on a pellet gun, which was raised at waist level and visible to the officer. Stevens said he pointed the gun because he wanted suicide by cop. He was placed through a field sobriety test and found to be operating a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol content of .17, over twice the legal limit, and while driving with a revoked license for a prior DWI conviction a year earlier. Former Woodstock dentist Vivian Letizia was sentenced on Thursday in Albany Federal Court to 1 year of probation for acquiring and obtaining a controlled substance by misrepresentation, fraud, deception, or subterfuge. 64-year-old Letizia was also ordered to undergo drug treatment and pay a $5,000 fine. She also paid $100,000 to resolve her civil liabilities for the same conduct. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.